Guys, we're getting over on YouTube. Thank you for being here at YouTube and thank you for being here at Zoom. Appreciate you all. And certainly today I'm going to take questions at the end. So if you got any questions that you want to get into support, we got support here. Not obviously specific ones, but any general. And I was just showing the support team the DAC company manual, which answers pretty much every question that you may have. And the comp plan booklet and the get starting strategy are all in final stages. So I'm really excited to get those out to all of you. But I wanted to go through some announcements. First of all, hey, if this is your first call with us, hey, welcome. Thanks for being here. My name is David Rutz. I happen to be the founder of DAC, and we've got a great leadership team at the corporate side, at the Bank Breezy side, and of course, the leaders in the field. I mean, you've got people that are non-paid, non-salaried people who give their efforts and time to every agent in this company. And yes, they earn in the pay plan, but a lot of work they do does not get compensated because unless a person is effective at getting customers, there's no revenue generated for the up team, right? It's not like they can talk you into buying product every month and through internal consumption have a pay plan. That's, first of all, that's illegal. But second of all, we're a marketing company. We're not a promotion to get you to buy. We're not an internal buying team. We are a marketing team. Okay, not a buying team. So with that said, these people, we've got some of the best leaders in this industry, best leaders in the home-based business affiliate marketing industry, best, because it's harder here. I'm going to be frank. It's harder to get a team of 100 people to go get customers than to talk 100 people into buying product, especially if it's overpriced product. It's still easier. It's still harder to do this business, get 10 people to get customers than it is to get 10 people to buy overpriced inflated product that is being sold illegally. It's still easier. Now it's wrong. The moral compass is wrong, but the reality is it's easier because people would rather take a pill to lose weight than work out. Right. And so people would rather buy something with their credit card to do their $100 or $200 in volume than go get 10 customers. So that's the reality. That's our transparency. Here's the good news. When you have 10 customers, that $100 doesn't go away. Our retention rate on our customers is unbelievable. And this product is extremely sticky, the pharmacy product. The funding product, you get renewals. This is what we see in funding. If someone doesn't graduate out of needing our funding in the first 4 or 5 times, then we're not the right funding for them, unless they're really growing fast, right? They either are going to eventually default because they're leveraging themselves so much, or they're growing. And if they're growing, man, renewals are awesome because we're funding their growth. But if they're plateauing and taking renewals, they're just, it's harder and harder to exist in business. So that's why after someone's got 3 or 4 renewals, it's harder to get a renewal unless you can show their sales going up. Because at some point, extending your credit card, it's like us giving someone a higher credit card balance. Okay, you're at 5,000, you max it out. Can you get me to 7? Okay, we'll increase it to 7. You're maxed out. Can you get it to 12? Okay, you're maxed out. Can you get it to 20? Okay, but you're maxed out. And eventually you're like, hey, listen, we can't keep adding because you're getting yourself more and more in debt. Now, if you're putting it into your business to grow sales, we'll keep giving you more money because we can see the benefit of that capital. But if we don't see the benefit of the capital, at some point we got to say renewal is not good for you, right? And rarely does that happen because fortunately our underwriters, first of all, Wade sees it, and then our underwriters see it on the other side if there's an issue. So with that said, our business is not easy to build. It's simple. But the difference is when you build it, it doesn't go away and you don't have to worry about the IRS. I'm not the IRS, but the FTC coming in and going, your business is closed because you're violating the FTC rules. I'm actually doing a video on this weekend because you guys hear me flirting with it all the time. But I feel it's my responsibility to help protect the agents of our industry. And there are 90% of the agents in our industry are in companies that could shut down tomorrow. That's just the reality because they're violating FTC rules. And if it ever happened, the owners can't say, well, you've allowed us to do it for 12 years or 2 years, or they just haven't put you under the microscope yet. So I want to do something that not to promote DAC, but as non-DAC video, a David Rutz video on what you need to look out for in your company if you're in a company to make sure you're in one that will be here 25 years from now as well. So, who am I? Why am I an authority? Well, I've been doing this 30 years and I've talked to a lot of attorneys and we've been an owner and I've made mistakes and I've not made mistakes. I've done both, right? So there's some experience in there that I know things not everyone in this industry knows. A lot of people do, but just look the other way. And the top reps in the industry making 50, 100 grand a month, they're not going to say anything. They're not going to say anything because they're making the 50 to 100 grand a month. So, and they know they're at risk and they know, and at any time they get shut down, they just take their group to a different company. So it's not governed. Now, this all came because I was talking about your leaders in DAC, your leaders in DAC who are here on the front line helping you grow your business. And they know that if you don't get customers, they're wasting time, but they don't look at it as time wasting. They look at it as an investment of giving someone the benefit of the doubt that they can change their life with this business. And so they work their tail off to help you change your life in this business. And so don't waste their time. If you're brand new, hey, you don't waste your enrollers' time or your enrollers up team time. Get yourself trained through the videos. Get yourself trained through the booklets. Get yourself trained through these calls, and then go to your enrollers for any specific stuff outside of that. But watch the training first. Don't ask them, hey, what's the revenue requirement to get a funding? If you don't know that, you haven't watched the basic trainings. Well, how's my package work? What do I do? How do I know where it went? Bank Breezy or Giggle? Well, you haven't watched the basic training. So give them the benefit of the doubt that they'll be there for you, just like they're giving you the benefit of the doubt that you'll want to do this, but demonstrate that by being an independent agent when you start. Okay. If you're brand new, man, we're glad to have you. We want you to change your life. I just got a text from a high school friend of mine who I reached out to, and we met yesterday. And I said, I'd love for you to be doing DAC, but you should not count on it being income week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It may be, but don't count on this. Don't jump in and do this full time. But it could be good. But I know how this could change your life. I know what this could do for you and your family. And I'm going to give you everything I can to help you make that so, if you give everything you can to make it so, right? Isn't that common sense? So I got a couple updates for you, but and I was going to end with this, but I'll start with it instead because we haven't done updates yet, and I'm already on this vein of thought. Today in 2 Corinthians 2, I don't know what verse, maybe 15, 17, something like that. I was reading with Marlo, and it talks about the being someone out there who's representing Christ, being someone, and it can be representing a product, it can be representing, your family. It doesn't matter what it is, but it just so happened to be this scripture was talking about when you're representing Christ, your message and who you are is either it creates a perfume. And this was an analogy that Paul gave, who wrote 2 Corinthians. He said it's like a perfume, and to some it's a sweet smelling perfume, and they savor the smell. To others, it's a detestable smell. Same perfume, same message, the message of Christ. Some of you hate hearing me say that word. It's detestable to you. Some of you are like, oh my goodness, it's so wonderful that he's a believer like me. Right? And I'm not professing faith on any of you that you need to be a Christian, but just me saying the word is detestable to some. To others, it's perfume, sweet perfume, not detestable. Yankee Candles, if you've ever heard of Yankee Candles, there's people who love that stuff and they buy it. And Yankee Candles does a good job of making sure the whiff of their candles comes out in the mall, if you're walking through the mall. If I get within 50 yards of a Yankee Candle, I have an instant headache. I'm allergic to something in their candles. I don't know what it is. And I can smell all kinds of high perfume candles, no problem. I can walk through Walmart and get all the high perfume candles, no problem. I can go to one of my favorite stores, Rural King, and I can go to Rural King and walk by the candle section, no problem. But once in a while, I'll go to Walmart and they got a new brand of candles, instant headache. It's got the same thing in it, those Yankee Candles. And my sister, same way. So there's something in our DNA. You're going to approach people with this funding, and it's going to be detestable to some. And to others, it's going to be the sweet smell of perfume, savoring smell. You're going to approach people about the DAC business, and to some, it's going to be a sweet smelling perfume. And to others, it's going to be detestable. In Second Corinthians, Paul actually says it's the smell of death to them. It's so detestable. It's the smell of death. And so you're not responsible for Yankee Candles isn't responsible for whether I get a headache or not. They sell something and they want it to be, they're not meaning to cause me a headache, right? They're meaning to have a wonderful candle that burns well and high quality and doesn't stain your ceilings, but I can't handle the smell. And so there's people out there, regardless of how good you do your outreach, regardless of how well you approach them, regardless of how well, they're not going to be interested. Now, fortunately, they don't think it's detestable. They're not going to be mad. They're not going to get upset with you. But not everyone is going to receive it as this is amazing. This is amazing. When it comes to the business opportunity, someone will say, I don't want to be in one of those things where you got to build a team. Good news is you can make full-time money here without building a team, but they'll still say that. And you can tell them that, yeah, but they want you to build a team. I don't care if you ever build a team. I'd rather you don't build a team unless you're going to support them or recruit people that want to be active, because we got to support everyone. And I don't want another 1,000 people joining who aren't going to do anything. That we just got to spend more money to support them. You don't make any money. I lose money. You lose time. I lose time and money when we recruit inactive people, right? So, but they're going to think, oh no, I know Dave wants you to go, go after everyone and recruit them. Amateurs sell people into this business. Experts sort to find the right fit for people. Who's the right fit? So as you're going out there to do this business, just remember you're not responsible for the outcome of the receiver of the message. You're only responsible to do the outreach with integrity, with proper character, and with proper understanding of what you're promoting. You never promote something and hope it's right. If you don't know for certain something's right, you don't promote it. You don't answer it if you don't know for certain it's right, right? This is common sense, but it's not common practice for most people in our industry. And so, my wife and I are looking at motorhomes, and as I think back to a show we went to, a camper show, and the way the salesperson, and these are expensive motorhomes, right? And the way they sold me, I would not buy that even if it was the best thing ever. It made me dislike the brand. It made me dislike the brand. And they sold all brands, just like you have all funding partners. But you make Bank Breezy look bad if you're representing it salesy, you got commission breath, trying to close someone into taking a loan, talking them into it. You make Bank Breezy, DAC all look bad. If you don't mind making yourself look bad, you get to, but don't do that here. So we train you how to just do an outreach and inform people, right? Just inform. Don't try to sell. Don't try to sell people into DAC. Just inform them that here's another home base affiliate opportunity where you can be an amazing affiliate, make great money with great services that benefit everyone. Or if you want to, you can refer that affiliate opportunity to others and build your own affiliate agency where you amplify your income. Isn't that awesome? But you never have to. But don't talk people into it. Most of you who are watching this don't. But if you're seeing this for the first time, that's our stance. We're sticking to it. We know it works, and we know it's the right way to be, and it's proper character, right? It honors God, it honors your family, it honors your last name, it honors your first name, it honors your reputation, and it helps you help people. Same Side Selling is a book out there about how to get on the other side of the table from their perspective and communicate with them, how to get on their side of the table and communicate. And I can summarize the whole book. Serve them by what impacts their business rather than serving them so you can earn a commission. If you can serve them for how this can impact their business, you'll start asking them, how could we impact your business with money? What ideas do you have to make a bigger impact? I mean, you started this restaurant to make an impact. How do we make that? How does money help you make a better impact? Is it possible? You started that donut shop because you wanted to be in the community, a place where people went and had coffee and sat and community, like bring the community together. How can I help you make a greater impact with capital? You started that cardboard company. Why? Why do you want to do a cardboard? There were already cardboard companies. Well, because I thought they were A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If there were all kinds of great home-based affiliate companies, DAC wouldn't exist. I wouldn't have needed to start it. I would have just been in one. So people start businesses not always just to make money. Some do. Some do say, I don't want to have a job. I want to profit. I want to build a profit company. And they build it and sell it. And they build it and sell it. And they just cash out. We're trying to build something here for you to be an incubator of income where you can earn a significant income. So if you are hearing this and you've heard this a lot, because I say it, I repeat, I believe something. Share what you believe, you'll attract people who believe it. So I do that a lot. And you may go, oh, he's doing that again. He's doing that again. Can you just get to the updates? I'm doing that again, but a lot of people are here for the first time. So, and by the way, we either believe this or we don't. And if it's coming in one ear and out the other, then maybe we need to quit yawning, not physically, but yawning in our thoughts and grab a hold of that and help build an army of people and actually be excited about what I'm sharing. Because it is the right beliefs to have, I believe. That's why I have them and that's why I share them. And if you don't fit that, you wouldn't be here. And if you do, keep sharing it because you'll attract others who believe it as well. Another belief I have is if you're a business owner, your store's not open if you're not talking to prospective clients. You're not open for business if you're not reaching out to clients. I don't mean just a Facebook post. That's like putting a flyer on the corner and expecting to retire. Putting a post out there is like putting a lawn sign out at the intersection in your street and expecting it to generate enough revenue that you can retire. I mean, it may generate a sale, it may generate a phone call. I do posts all the time and they do work, but not enough to quit a job. Not enough to that your team can count on. But what I can tell you is if you call 20 people about our pharmacy product, you've got customers, you've got real revenue. Is it easier to buy a sign and post a sign on the corner? Yeah. But you're better off talking to a doctor and making sure it's okay. You can put the brochures in their office. That conversation may lead to multiple customers. You're better off talking to a fundraiser and getting a church to say, hey, I want to help my members with this pharmacy card. And we get a donation of $2 to $5 per. Wow. We earn that. It's not a donation. We earn $2 to $5. Wow. And that one conversation is better than putting a sign on the corner or a post on Facebook. Now, if you're a media marketer and you know how to do that and you're a digital marketer and you're successful at it already and you're already earning full-time income, I'm not talking to you. You know how to do it already. But if you're not doing that, it's a long learning curve to learn how to effectively market online effectively. And it's not by buying advertisements and doing all that. Facebook ads, I've spent over, I won't say 50 grand, but I've spent over 75 grand testing things. And Facebook was 40 or 50 of it. Didn't get one client, not one. I'm 50 grand invested and our funding is amazing. And most people who apply take the offer. Why didn't it work? I don't know. I blame Facebook, not me. but I got to blame myself if I keep doing it. And you got to blame yourself if you try it after I just said all that. Right. So let's do what works. And that's how we're open for business. Starbucks in our corner in our downtown village. My office used to be right next door to it. I loved it. I went there for that reason because I used to work at that Starbucks. In fact, Cheryl, you and I met in that Starbucks. I see Cheryl's on here. I love that. And that's why I opened the office right next door. In fact, when I have meetings, I'd go to Starbucks and meet with people. People like being in Starbucks. Well, Starbucks moved. They didn't close, they moved. Where'd they move to? They moved to where there was a drive-through. Why'd they move to where there was a drive-through? Because that's how most people want to acquire coffee now. They do a lot more revenue. People still go sit inside. But if you look at any new Starbucks locations, they're actually smaller inside. They're making them smaller and smaller because that's not where people are consuming most of their coffee. They're getting it on a drive-through. They'll buy 3 cups a day. If you give them a drive-through, they only buy one, maybe if they got to walk in your store because they're on their way to work or they're doing something else and they just want their coffee, right? So why do I say all this? Because you're a business owner. How do people learn about this business? You can put a drive-through in called ads. You may get some people. Most people are not responding to that. Some do. You can put a post up on Facebook social, and you should. You should. You can have carry out in your restaurant and you'll do some sales, and you can use DoorDash and you'll do some more sales. Those are all like passive methods. Retail stores are a very passive method. You hope people walk through your doors. But if people aren't coming in your restaurant, it will close. Doesn't matter how good it is inside, how good the food is. People eventually got to come in. So it doesn't matter how good our services are. if you're not having people apply to it. So advertising to a restaurant is needed because you got to get people to come through your doors. Networking is needed. You got to get people to come through your doors, and you got to get people to come through your doors. Your doors are just a website. It's a website. So that's my tips for the day of a mindset, so that you're focused on what your role is to connect prospective customers with our services, so that if it's the right fit, they go, perfect. I went to a seminar one time about, and maybe this will help you if the perfume didn't, and if Starbucks changing didn't, or if the Yankee Candle didn't, then here's another one. I went to a seminar one time about with a vintner, I think they're called, someone who is a master at making wine. And they were telling you the reason you smell it is because instantly you know whether it fits. He said, I want you to imagine a key, a lock and key. And when you smell it, if it's not going to be good for you, if it's going to give you headaches, if it's going to be affect you negatively, you know it when you take a smell. They're not doing it just to be, oh, look at me, uppity, I'm smelling my wine. They're doing it to see if it fits. And he said, imagine a lock and key. And if you do it, you swish it around and you actually savor the smell from it. Don't just go, oh, that smells good. Actually, I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. I remember the first time someone asked me to smell a wine, I'm like, aren't you going to give me more? I didn't know they were giving me a little bit just to smell it, make sure it hadn't spoiled, or make sure it was something I wanted to drink. I don't know. I was a young man, but this business is just like that. Your customers that you approach, some of them, when they take a look at your site, aren't going to sign up. People say, well, I got 15 people to look at my RX site and only one joined. Okay. What did you tell the 15 who came? Because there's a reason they came and decided not to join. And maybe it's because they're taking medication that aren't on the list, or they only have one medication that's not on the list, and they said it's not worth the $300 a year for my, or the $240 for my personal, or $360 for my family. That's great. We found out Yankee Candle, I don't like the smell, I don't need it. Next. Doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's not the right fit. Someone came to look at the funding. Ah, I see. It's amazing. I'm not doing the revenue yet. No problem. Oh, it's amazing. But my opportunity, the way I wanted, the reason I wanted the money is I just wanted to repaint my place. And I don't know that that's going to generate revenue. So I don't want to cost my painting. I don't want it to be 40% more because I got the money from you. I just don't need it. That's a great call. You'd have bad debt. That's smart not to do it. Unless your place looks dilapidated, then you should. So you're not, I want you, and we all need to, I remind myself of this, I'm not responsible for the outcome, whether it's the right fit. Doesn't mean the product's bad. Means it's not the right fit. So you just talk to more people, you increase it, you introduce it to more, and you find the right fit. Okay, couple updates. Pharmacy program, as you may all know, you got an email that the pharmacy supplier, My Free Pharmacy, is redoing their onboarding system and their renewal system. They cannot charge credit cards right now. They're switching processors actually, because the people who do their monthly processing, it was causing a problem. And so they've decided to update that process, including going to a different processing system for doing the renewals. So we just happen to have just started right when they're in the process of deciding to do that. And they said it would take them about 5 days, and that's what they told me on Monday. It started Thursday of last week is when this started. So I'm saying it may take 10 days, right? Because if they're thinking 5, maybe it's 10. So that's why we put the form up that captures the orders, the start of an order, and sends you an email letting you know you had a client start, and we're keeping those. And as soon as it's turned back on, we'll go. That's challenge number 1. It'll be behind us. Right now we're going through it. It's like someone broke your front door on your donut shop. You can't be open for business till you get a new door. It sucks. It's part of being a business owner. You just get storms every once in a while. Got a flood, you got to be closed for 2 days. You know, it happens, and you just endure, and you show your maturity by your ability to endure. We're not happy about it, but doesn't change the fact that, you know, long term, it's not a big deal. Even in the short term, it's not, but it is an immediate. If you had a customer who tried to sign up, I get it. It can be frustrating. So just endure it. and look at it with a level head. Number two, the auto renewals they can't do right now. So you may find that your card isn't charged on the 23rd or whatever. And you may find when you go to log into your portal, it says your card is expired or your card did not go through, call here, because it's all an automated system. And I experienced this myself. Because I was checking what it's going to happen after, if they can't bill my card, what's going to happen to my account. And so it says, please call this number, and you call the number and they say, yeah, we need to get your card on file. And we'll rerun it soon, but don't worry about it. Your portal's not being terminated or anything like that, but you can't log in because it is their system automatically shuts it off. So they weren't really able to redevelop that system to keep you live, even though you hadn't paid for it. So you hadn't paid for it because their system didn't charge you for it, right? So there's an ironing out. There's a little process here where it's going to be a little bumpy, and it almost makes me feel like, well, this is why the fundraising stuff went into delay, because we have some large organizations who really want to use this for fundraisers. So it's like, it's a good thing it wasn't live for them. And we're not happy it's live for you guys right now, but we're also not happy because you only get one or two chances with a organization like that. And so we're almost glad that, not glad, but we're glad the fundraiser is not already live, put it that way. This system development from our partner was taking longer than they had thought. Same with group enrollment. So those delays in hindsight are fortuitous. All right. ERCs are coming to a close. You can expect that is the case. That you've got until Monday at noon Mountain Time to get your clients' documents in. If you've gotten a status update from us that says waiting on documents, until you get all documents received, you won't get another status update, right? So you need to, if you got if you started an ERC in the past and you didn't get the thing filed with IRS, they haven't turned in all their documents yet. And you need to let them know that they don't get till next year anymore. They don't get till April anymore. They don't get till April of next year for 2022. So they get till Monday, because on the 31st of this month, IRS is shutting off taking anymore. So if you have one of those, it could cost you 20 grand. It could cost them $400,000 credit. It's available right now that's going away, or 800,000 or 80,000. It doesn't matter what it is. I got a friend who's getting 35,000. He's ecstatic. That's 35 for a small business. That is, are you kidding me? Could you imagine getting 5,000 for a small business? I mean, that's amazing. So make sure if you ever got that status update, send them out. Secondly, if you have anyone who didn't get it, this is the time to call every business owner you know who had employees through the pandemic and say, did you already get your ERC? They either know they did or they didn't. If they say no, you can tell them you only have till Monday to get your ERC, because no CPA firm is going to be able to analyze it and submit it and file it by the 31st unless they have everything before Monday. As it is, there may be too much of a rush on the team where they just can't do some of them. They may have to prioritize. So I'd get them in today, right? I'd get everything in ASAP, not wait till Monday, because if we haven't learned already from the IRS, there's no guarantee. They may come back to us and say, we're not taking it anymore. Anyone who came in on the 31st, we're not, who knows? They made this change last week. It went from you have till April to you have till 5 days from now. Right? So we should never expect that an IRS program will be out there for as long as they said. So that's a reason to call your clients. It's a reason to call them. Or email them, reach out, text them, whatever you can, and reach out to any warm market you have. So that's the ERC update. Okay, one other thing, Social Security numbers. You can't log into your back office without adding your Social Security number, okay? It's 1099 time. There's several people who are getting a 1099 who've not logged in and updated their Social Security number. Please do that. If you don't, you're risking an audit against yourself, because we have to submit Agent Joe Blow made $22,000 and Joe Blow's tax ID number is unknown. So we put your address, we put everything we can, email address, we put everything on the form we can, because we have to file a 1099. Now, all that's doing is setting up, boom, it goes into a manual bucket of needs to be looked at. When it's all automated, it doesn't happen. So make sure, if you've not already done it, even if you don't know if you're getting a 1099, log into your back office. First thing you're going to be asked is, please add your social security number and add it. Okay. If we had it in the past, when we were doing it manually, we can find it and we can go do some manual search from the past. But keep in mind, we were partnered with Longevity last year. So all the 1090, all the social security numbers were in their system. Now, some of it we put into ours, because we did our own 1099s. So we can go find it from an old system, but it's adding a lot of extra legwork for us per person. So we're asking you to go log in. And then we're actually going to, they're turning it to where we won't issue commission checks unless we've already got the social number. We're saying that now, but I'm like, I don't want to do that just yet. That'll upset people. We didn't give them any warning. But for 1099 now, you got to do it now. If you made more than 600 last year, it's got to happen now. So just do it. And then, but at some point, we're going to turn off commissions can't be issued unless we have your ID number. Why? Because DAC pays a fine if we're paying you and we don't have your tax ID number. If we issue a 1099 and we don't know your social, not only does it open an audit for you, it opens up a potential fine for us. So we're asking you to be our partners. We're being your partners. We're tracking everything for you. We're providing all these services. We need you to get your social number on file. Okay. That's it for the updates right now. I'm not going to update any tool stuff. Just know it's coming. Hopefully you already watched the comp plan snippets that came out. If you don't know about them, there's comp plan snippets available, and you want to watch those on any area that you may not understand. All right, let's go through the questions. Go to Matthew DeHane first. Matthew, what question have you got for us, buddy?
It's a two-thing commentary, David, and this is just really interesting. The theme is fire. So let me just tell you right up front what you're getting a headache from. It's from paraffin wax. Things are called parabens. They're toxic. They're based on petroleum, benzene, and the one that's giving you a headache is called toluene. Toluene. That's what Yankee Candle puts in 90% of these people. So go get organic candles. The stuff is going to kill you. Don't put them in your house in a closed environment.
Even if it doesn't give you a headache, don't put them in your house, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, but specifically toluene is the one that's giving you a headache. There are other things that are carcinogenic. Don't put them in your house and don't close your windows, guys. Common sense.
Thank you.
There's so much there's information out there. Now, it's the olfactory senses in the brain, right? The olfactory part near the ear. That's why we associate smells with memories, because it's right next to your ear, that hippocampus, actually, part of the brain. Kind of interesting. And wine sniffing has to do with their trace minerals in the wine that something in your DNA just doesn't like. It's like that. Historically, it's a
lot of allergies.
Yeah, because the vines are just pulling the stuff out of the ground, right? I mean, the historic fossils and all that stuff. And so it's all very interesting. So our brains are extremely complicated, and God made us that way for a very good reason, fight or flight stuff. And I just want to talk about fire because your analogy about getting, marketing and getting discouraged or picking the right methodology of building your momentum, right, on your own production.
You generate revenue. Yep.
Yeah. So here's what I do. I just got to throw this out, David, because this is inspiring me. Every time I cook, I live in a place where it's summertime here, right, guys? And I'm barbecuing. I cook on this open grill all the time. I light fires often with wood. I use wood, this hardwood stuff. It's like hickory wood. It's really good. And you got to light a fire, get good at it. You get your small kindling paper, tinder. Look around for some dry wood, and then I pile the larger logs up on top. And I've got my box of wooden matches. And I'm thinking, the analogies are thrown through my head. Just toss some matches at the bottom of that sucker. I didn't like, just like from a distance. And I started thinking, that's exactly what most people do with this business. They have this whole thing ready. It's all ready to ignite, but they're just throwing matches from like 5 feet, 3 feet away, and they're hoping it's going to ignite on the bottom. Well, just take that match, be very careful, and go underneath to the very part of the paper and write another part. And you're increasing your probabilities of this sucker igniting by being very deliberate in your application of the little spark or the flame to get this sucker going. Don't be reckless, be much more intentional. And that analogy came to me the other day when I was lighting a fire. I'm like, I got to cover this on one of the calls. So that I just have to throw it out there, man. It's just like perfect analogy.
Love it.
So
Love it.
that's all. There you go, man.
Good
And,
stuff, buddy.
one more thing. No. One more thing. Your compensation update is awesome. I was like, hallelujah. I was so happy to see that, because even for me, eyes glaze over, like, okay, I know I got to produce, but this breaks it down. You can go back. I sent it to my team. I said, go to the part, jump down. I mean, I'm saying jump ahead, but the way you put it, residual first, and then boom, upfront bonuses, number 7 on down. I said, well, listen, some people are coming in, they want to get after this real quick. They're not, necessarily team builders. So I said, if you're not team building, jump down to number 7 and go from there, and go back to number 1 after you see it. I think you'll want to. I'm just telling them, instructing them, if you really want to get right after this, and go to the one-time bonus thing for personal, commission, personal bonus, and overhead, and they're going to want to. I think that was just my suggestion. I'm not going to suggest that you reverse it, put that at the top, but for some people, I'm just instructing them to go down to number 7 and then go back to 1 with residual.
Like you said, for some people, if I'm focused on residual services, the bonuses mean nothing to me. And if I'm focused on bonuses, the residual means nothing to me yet. So start, pick your passion and start there. That's why you guys are tour guides, and you're doing it right, Matthew. Appreciate it, buddy. And
Awesome.
Thanks for the compliments. We've had a lot of great feedback on them, and we appreciate it. And there's more to come. I'm looking at many of the pages right now for the new comp plan booklet and the policies and procedures booklet, and how do you move a group? If you want to move a group, why can't you move a group? All the little rules about sponsor placement, all those things are all written, and I'm excited to make all this stuff available. So it's coming. Let's go to who's next. Thank you, Matthew. I think it's V, right? If I'm looking at this right.
Hello, am I heard?
Loud and clear, V.
I'm heard.
Yes.
Happy Friday, happy 23 for everyone. Thanks, Dave, for the reminders. I have a couple questions. Request first. Will you confirm that for this 1099 form that the EIN number would be okay as well, or must it be the Social Security number?
It does not need to be the social if you are in the system as a business. Yes.
Okay.
But you cannot use an EIN number if it is not registered as a corporation or LLC or some type of business.
Okay, second thing, the ERP. So will their deadline change if this this bill does not become law? Because right now, this is in the House.
Yeah.
This is House Bill 1204 hasn't been voted on in the House. Just gone through Ways and Means, not voted on it. The president hasn't signed it.
It's really hard to understand you right now. I don't know if you're on a cell phone in a bad area.
I'm
getting what you're saying, so I'll answer it because I know where you're asking. If this doesn't pass, it's expected to pass. But if it doesn't pass, then the deadline will be extended. But to believe it's going to pass would mean we're leaving things on the table. But if it stays open and doesn't get passed, then you'll have more time. We as a company, and many companies are getting out of the space. I'm not saying we are immediately. If it doesn't pass, we're not going to take it off our website. But as of right now, ERCs will be off our website on Monday and out of our back office because it won't be available. So we're already planning for how to remove everything and make it not a part of our sign up process. If that doesn't happen, if it doesn't pass, we'll keep it live, but we've got to make an assessment at some point. We invest about 10 hours a week into supporting this one person, 10 hours a week, not counting I'm just talking about manual work that you guys don't know about, not counting all the other stuff. And if it's not going to be likely that it'll continue, then we're not going to keep investing that 40 hours, man hours a month just to give status updates as an example. or just to keep checking in with the ERC company, answering support questions. So it gets to a point where it's a lost leader if it's unlikely that, it doesn't pass, but it passes 2 weeks from now, or, so the answer is everything remains to be seen. You should assume it's ending on Monday. Will it for sure? No, but it's likely to.
Got it. Thanks.
Pamela Warnock, you bet, V. Thank you. Pamela, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. How can I
I
help
had
you?
this is potentially a request. I was wondering, is it possible for you to put together a comparison chart for the healthcare plans and the prescription plan? We have something similar to that in regards to our funding, but I'm finding that when people start asking, how are you better? Or you say you've got the best plan or you got the lowest cost, it's whatever that agent happens to have learned. And if you have new agents, a lot of times they don't really know what to say. So if we had some type of tool like that, I think it would be helpful just so that when we are talking to clients, we have that information and we're being uniform in what our conversation is and not saying all kind of things.
The downside, the difference is, I mean, I agree. That'd be a great marketing piece. The struggle is we can't compare our health share to any other product that, and we might be able to compare it to some other sharing products.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because the health, with everybody having a negative
Here's the problem.
connotation.
Here's the problem, Pamela. This is what we deal with in things like this. Why sometimes we can't do what makes all the sense in the world to do is you become liable for what you're putting out there. And someone change, we don't have the team to watch. Like, as an example, the pharmaceutical formulary changed 2 weeks ago. Our document, we didn't know. Our document was no longer accurate. And if someone wanted to sue us because they became a member and we false advertised, they could. Now, I don't think they would. But when you start getting into things, I've been sued for things, marketing things that have nothing to do with intention. It's to try to stop me from competing with them. So you start doing a comparison to MetaShare, or they're looking for a reason to get you to stop competing with them, like you have something wrong on that document and we're now suing you for false advertising. So it becomes very risky. We can do against a general. That's why you see our funding. We just talk about a general, and we might be able to do something like that, but it's very, I don't know that that's needed for, our pharmacy. It's $20. Do you spend more than 20 on this list of drugs? Then you're better off with us. There's no other, but we can't list every drug. We've got a comparison sheet. So I would say this: sketch out what you're thinking, because maybe I'm not following you. Sketch out what you're thinking, draw it on a piece of paper, take a picture with your phone and send it to me, and I'll get an idea of what you mean. Maybe it's a fantastic idea and doesn't create any of the risks I'm worried about.
Right. It's basically what you have in the funding area, where it's just a high level view, and more than anything, it's talking points, that you can go through down that comparison chart. And if it's just general information, you could say something like, we provide over 800, generic prescriptions. And then in comparison, you may say, you don't have to necessarily put a number in there, but you might be able to put something different so that they can see that, hey, we've got more options available to you than some of these other discount plans.
I don't know of any other unlimited plans out there except Amazon's plan with they keep lowering the medications. So that's the only one I'm aware of. And they don't cover most medications. So, and they tried it with more, and now they're lowering it. They're not giving more and more. They're taking less and less.
Yeah.
So I don't know of any others to compare with, but yeah, draw it out just for sake of time right now. I
Sure.
hear you know what you're asking for. I'm not sure how to deliver it. So give me an idea what you want, especially on the membership. It's like, just like Netflix didn't have to tell you what you spend on movies. It either makes sense or it doesn't. Well, I don't watch movies online. Okay, then Netflix makes no sense for you. So it's, you spending more than $20, then it makes sense. So that's
Right.
We don't have any competition in this space. They're all charging more and they're using the same supplier we are. So it's the same product. But anyway, yeah, share us what you can. Appreciate the idea.
All right, sure. I'll send it to you.
Thank you. Who do we got next?
We have David Stark. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, David.
Hi, David. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
I'm trying to, it's an update on New York State healthcare. I sent, I'm approaching this from, maybe I made a mistake. I sent Jake an email. I talked to him first. I sent him an email with the contact information for the guy up here that I want to get started with Health Share. And I sent my guy up here, my contact, a email. And I thought Jake was going to email, he wanted to do it. Jake said I needed to,
You know what,
they
Dave?
needed to do it.
Let's take this offline. Just deal with support department on it so that we don't.
Oh,
If
okay,
it's
I'm
a
sorry.
specific, yeah, if it's a specific thing like that, just take it to support. That way you don't have to wait.
I haven't
And
gotten any contact back from him. That's the thing. I can't get
That's
a
what I'm
hold of him.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Take it up with support. We get hundreds
All
of
right.
submissions, and once in a while, someone will say they don't get support, and we show them, look, we called them this time, this time, and this time. They didn't answer the call, and their voicemail is full. I mean, it's very common. So I wouldn't assume they're not being contacted, but I would follow up because maybe they're not. There may be.
I just wanted to know if he got my email, if something went wrong, if it went to spam. But I guess I could find that out through support.
Yeah, email support. In fact, email support and Jake at the same time. And then support can follow up with it as well. And that way you're all communicating. You're just trying to
I'll
get.
see if I can do that. I'd hate to admit this, but I'm not very good with that kind of, multiple emailed people, but I'll work
Yeah.
on it, Dave.
Reach out to support, David, and they'll help you out and getting a hold of them and making
I
sure
just
that.
want, I got a meeting set up with a guy next Wednesday. And I'm trying to get it clarified before then. That's all.
Yeah.
And this is for other states too. I'm also in contact with a businessman in Missouri. So I have sent him brochures and cards already. And so I need to
Well done.
clarify.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I agree.
All right.
And they can make sure you're calling the right number and emailing the right place and all that. Well, and by the way, Jake is live every Tuesday at 11:30 and he takes
Well, I know.
questions.
I'm hoping to get this done before, because I have a meeting Wednesday.
Support
with
can help you in 15 minutes.
I'll get it. I'll
So
go to
reach
that.
out to them and we'll jump on it. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
David. Appreciate all you're doing.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right.
We've
Letitia.
got- Yep, you got it. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Letitia.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear now.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to find out, when will the brochures, I see that David was just talking about brochures. When will we have access to that, or are they available as far as brochures?
What brochure for what service are you talking?
Like if we wanted to give out any brochures to business or anything
I
of
know
that sort,
what
like business
service, because
perspectives.
we've got brochures for every service already. So I'm wondering what service
Okay.
you're asking for, because we'll tell you where to go to get them. What service are you
Okay,
marketing?
so, well, I'm fairly new, so I'm just, taking all of this information in, but
Sure.
I would like to know where would I, actually be able to get that if I want to have access to that.
Absolutely. And the reason I keep asking which brochure is because we market a lot of services. So some of them,
Okay.
like payment processing, we don't have a brochure for. We have a drop card. But so where you go to get your brochures is in the Agent Resource Center. And it's not going to be a threefold brochure. It's our marketing pieces is what you're asking for. Most people email them out or print them and hand them out, but you can get them in the Agent Resource Center under marketing information.
Okay.
Or under each product, whatever product it's specific you want to market. If you click on that product, you'll see social posts, you'll see scripts on how to sell it. We put everything under the specific product itself.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And you can email support. So play around in your Agent Resource Center, look around, and if you can't find it, then just reach out to support and they'll specifically tell you right where to go for whatever service you're looking to get materials for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Letitia, and welcome aboard. Glad to have you. We'll, this is where the booklet's going to help. You'll be able to go to the table of contents and, it's all there in the Agent Resource Center, but it ends up becoming, we have a lot of stuff. And it's sometimes because there's so much, it's harder to find, but it is pretty intuitive, but you got to look around. You got to look at the map a few times and then you'll see, okay, the red lines are highways and the blue lines are rivers, and you'll understand what the map is after you study it for a little while. So give it a look and you'll find what you need. I think that's all the questions. I don't see any other questions. Is that right, Morgan? I don't have to put my glasses on.
Yep, you're right.
All right,
questions
good.
answered.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we're going into next week is the last, it's not the first Tuesday of the month yet, so there will not be a presentation next Tuesday, but I'm hoping by the following Tuesday, it starts a daily one. That's the hope, is everything's done and we want to gear it up. Same reason we're not promoting the fundraiser right now real hard is because we don't have the sign up process down. And now with the delays in the purchasing the product, there's no reason to hit it hard, but once all that's done, then we hit it hard. Same thing with our recruiting. There's no reason to go slow right now, but when we have everything fine tuned, then we blitz, and we'll never be fine tuned, but it'll be tuned. And we've got a few more things to tune it up even better. So God bless you. Appreciate all of you. Have a great weekend. If you're a Lions fan, go Lions. If you don't have a team in the playoffs, be a Lions fan. They've never been to this game before, and they've never been to the Super Bowl. So let's cheer them on. Appreciate you all. God bless.